Happy Friday and welcome to a brand new episode of Let's Talk Broncos, brought to you by Mile High Sports. I'm here with Zach Seegers, Joey Richards, and I'm Bri Guys, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for this week I'm excited for this week to end. I'm excited for Friday. It was a very, very busy week. Birthday was awesome, but the week after it was like, I said this last time, but it hit me like a ton of bricks. So I am very excited it's Friday, and I'm very excited to be here on this podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here too. Excited it's Friday. Excited for the weekend. Let's go. Oh no,
That's
pretty funny. That was a timer I set to remind me to hop on the podcast, and then I accidentally restarted it rather than ending it, and then it just went off. But yeah, excited to be here.
The alarm for 6:02 to jump on the podcast?
No, that's the thing. I set the alarm for like 25 minutes out, and then rather than ending it, I like hit repeat, and so it repeated another 25 minutes.
You snoozed us. I see how it is. Well, that's fine. That's what we do here. Welcome to Let's Talk Broncos. If you're new here, if you're over on Twitter and you're watching us, you want to engage with the show, you want to interact, get your questions and comments highlighted, you got to jump on over to the YouTube stream. I am dropping that in the thread right now, or it looks like Zach beat me to it. Fantastic. Go over there or go over to Facebook if you prefer that. But that's the only way we're going to see your comments. You can make them positive. You can make them negative. It's up to you. That's what we want to see, is just viewers popping in and saying hello. If you are not aware of what we do here, we talk Broncos. That's kind of our thing. We are ramping up for the Raiders game on Sunday. I think we're done lamenting about past Sundays and we're moving forward. It's going to be a short week from week 4 to 5. So there's lots to talk about here. And then we're going to get right into it, getting into a game recap on Monday. Before we do that, we like to do a little bold predictions show, which is what we're going to be doing this evening. And then don't forget to catch us for a very special Saturday episode where we will preview the matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders. I know I'm looking forward to that. It's always a fun time. It replaces our Thursday show. And now I'm rambling. So let's get to it, guys. Who wants to start? Who's got a bold prediction for this game?
I have a very bold prediction for this game.
Ooh.
A very, very bold prediction for this football game. I mean, okay. I've seen a lot of this Raiders O-line, not too impressed. Be completely honest with you guys. We all know their situation at right tackle. They had their starter go out, and then Leatherwood, who was their first round pick, they just got rid of, right? Which led them down a path of there's just not many very good right tackles in the league. Like there's less even average right tackles than there is teams in the NFL. So the Raiders went all the way down past their first guy that they thought was going to play, past their second guy all the way down to their third. I'm thinking that the Broncos will have 2 players finish with 2 sacks. Now, shout out to Ejiro Evero in that Broncos defense, especially that front 4. They're just so good. I really think that Broncos front 4 is so good. Draymond Jones has potential to do something like this. Bradley Chubb has the potential to do something like this. Randy Gregory does. Like, the list goes on. The Broncos starting 4 is awesome. Would it be a rarity? Very big rarity. But I just am feeling good about this Broncos D line and edge group. So that's what I'm going with right now.
Okay, that's interesting, Joey. I have a question though, just a clarifier. Sorry, you don't have to say who you think it's going to be though.
No. Just 2 players that finish with 2 sacks.
Okay, go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I love this prop. I'm going to take you up on it because I feel like I have to with the numbers game of it all. But I like your odds here. I think you're playing the game well. It's bold, but I feel like there's a sneaky good chance that this happens. You've got Brandon Parker at one of the tackle spots, and whichever edge is matching up with him, whether it's Chubb or Gregory, they're going to have a decisive advantage there. And then the interior of the Raiders line is pretty friggin' weak. And Jones is doing great right now. 2 sacks through 3 games. I think his career high is 6.5. So he's producing at a career best level. You've got DJ Jones doing the same, creating a lot of pass rush push, even if he's not in there. With the way Mike Purcell played in the most recent game, you've got to be excited about maybe what he could do against another shoddy interior offensive line. So I like the odds. RC Cola, interesting choice.
Yeah, how did you know? You're on mute.
Not sponsored. I was just trying to say that we were not sponsored by RC Cola, but if you're watching, hit us up. Not me. Go ahead and hit up Joey. Mile High Profits in the chat. How bold are we talking? Broncos 45, Raiders 9. Good God.
That's bold. I feel like mine's pretty one-sided. We'll do score predictions tomorrow. Mine's pretty one-sided, and I'm not near there. Goodness, Prophet, I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Joey, I'm going to take you up on that bet as well, just because of Zach already kind of really said the numbers game there. Do I think there will be a combination of sacks and turnovers? Absolutely. But I don't know. I'm thinking three sacks there. And if the fourth one hits, that's pretty bold. I really like it. I think that I have a lot of faith in the defense as well. I just think that it's a little bit of a long shot than I feel comfortable taking, because I think I will owe my debt to you. I don't think that it's really off base for what this team is capable of. I see some comments pouring in here, some of them which I cannot highlight. So if you're watching over on Twitter and you want to know what's getting said, you got to hop on over to the YouTube stream chat and check it out. Engage with us over there. But I do appreciate y'all talking with us. Let's see what else is going on. Nope. Okay, nothing else that I can highlight right now. But Joey, I like the prediction. I don't think that it's not gonna not happen. I really want to jump on board, but I don't feel comfortable.
I mean, if the Broncos were to make my bet, like they were to do what is needed of them there, I think they would win, right? Like there would be a really high chance of them winning. If two guys on the Broncos both had 2 sacks, that would be a really big deal. That means that 2 guys up there were just completely dominant. So yeah, let's go with that. Broncos, 2 sacks by 2 players. Let's go.
And I'm taking you, and Bri isn't, which for those that get mixed up, means I'm betting against that. I'm saying that will not happen. Bri is agreeing with Joey, saying
no. I'm saying that I don't think it. I said that it'll be close. It's too dodgy for me, so I'm taking the bet as well.
Oh, you are? Okay, so am. Both taking that. Sweet.
Which now feels like I should have not, but then you live and you learn. Frankie says Montreal, Washington, 35+ yard return. Very nice.
I could see I think it. I don't think I'm going to take it. Even though Raiders and Broncos fans will be so mad to hear this, for 11th right now in special teams DVOA. So the special teams unit is actually playing not terribly under Tom McMahon. But it does feel like Montreal, Washington is just bound to pop one of these weeks for a massive.
And why not week 4 against the Raiders? I think it's let's talk a little bit about that game, just because we have a preview show. You're going to see us talking about it on Saturday. But I think it's important to note, the Raiders are a little bit backed into a corner, feral, for lack of better terms. So I think it's a dangerous game to bet against them, but how can you? They've been kind of falling apart. And with the head coaching of Josh McDaniels, Zach, I don't think he's going to get there. And if this is the game he turns it around, that's just divine intervention at that point. So I don't know. I feel a little bit of wispiness trying to think that they would win this game by 45-9 like Mile High Profit does, which I'm not. I'm taking that bet as well. I don't think that the gap in points is going to be that large. But Joey, how did you feel about that score prediction?
45-9. I mean, this is called the Bold Takes episode, so I'm not mad at this at all. I like my Broncos fans very, very confident in their team, so I appreciate this. But also, I'm not taking this, or I would take this. I just 45-9 is such a huge spread. You have to take that.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Samuel Castro, what's up peeps? Sorry, I'm packing, getting ready to come to Denver for the Colts game, but ready to listen. Awesome. We're happy you're going to be visiting the Mile High City. Glad you're going to be ready to watch the Broncos. We'll get to that game next week, but I do think that that's an interesting one to talk about as well, seeing as though the Colts are a little bit they're hard to pin down. It's a team I didn't think was going to be doing so well, and then they beat the Chiefs. So I don't know. I don't want to talk too much trash about them right now. Indy says, bold prediction, Waitman will not punt 10 times this week. We can hope. 10 times is a lot. I don't think that's necessarily what we want to see out of the special teams unit, but if they're all consistent and great yards or field position, you're not taking that one.
No. Waitman's not punting 10 times this week. I'm agreeing with Indy there.
Okay, perfect. The Prophet's coming in hot again. God is not on McDaniel's side. I think, did you work it into Prophet? This is a question directly to you. Did you work it into your commandments? I have not seen the new prophetization from you on the Twitter feed. I'll have to go check that out. And if you'd like to go check that out, follow the Mile High Prophet over on Twitter at Mile High Prophet. Good guy, awesome person to interact with over on Twitter. Indy says, fuck it, I'm putting it up there. Oh,
bro.
Yep. I feel you, man. I get it. I do get it. Yep.
Someone said a link in here.
There's a YouTube link going in. I'm not clicking it. Sorry, David, it's nothing against you. I just don't know you. Minuscule amounts of slop in the field this week. I like it. I want to talk about that too before I get into Zach, your bold prediction next, right?
Sure.
Okay, give me 1 second with that because I want to kind of touch on that. Minuscule amounts of slop on the field this week. So that means basically Denver can't lose the turnover battle. We're really talking about what that means. Like, that's a bold prediction. So
also, there's so much more that goes into this. Like every issue that we've had with Hackett, minuscule amount of slop is. It's funny. This is in the bold predictions. This is in the bold predictions, and I'm really sitting here thinking about this. Yeah, you know what? Game day is approaching us, so I'm not going to take Frankie up on that. I really, really hope, like absolute hopium right now, hope that there's no Broncos slop this Sunday.
Oh, no, perfect. Oh, David chimed in. He said, it's the Broncos fight song I just wrote and recorded. It's legit. Cool. Shouts out to David. Zach, give me your bold prediction for Sunday.
Sweet. Yeah. I am saying here, because this is a bold prediction episode, I am saying here Davante Adams goes under 30 receiving yards this game, which is bold. He did go with 12 against the Cardinals. I'm going to say under 30 and no touchdowns too, because he did have 12 and a touchdown against the Cardinals. Does have a touchdown every week of this season, but just hasn't been producing quite at the same level. And I think the Broncos defense will completely smother him this week.
What was the yards on there, Zach? I'm sorry.
30.
It's interesting that you even gave him 30, considering who's going to be covering him and Patrick Surtain. I don't know. Like I kind of want to agree there. I'm not going to take you, Zach, because I want to see it happen. And we're all about, if you're going to be predicting something like that, you kind of want to see it come to fruition. I think that as testament to what Patrick Surtain has done on the field on both sides and being really comfortable out there, Davante Adams hasn't been able to keep up with his I don't even know if it's a lure or a myth from what was happening in Green Bay with him and Rodgers, but since switching over to Carr, there's a little bit of a disconnect. He's probably just uncomfortable enough to really not be able to produce. So, yeah.
He has one game, just to highlight how bold this is. He has one game under 30 receiving yards since October of 2017. He has just two since the very start of 2017. And one of those is the very first of 2017. It's I guess three since the very start of 2017. And two of those take place in the year of 2017. Only one since, the November of 2017. So hasn't happened often for the guy. Once in the last 4 years. I'm saying it happens again this week.
If the Broncos defense is supposed to be ranked as high as they are, third or top 5 unit, and they want to remain that way, I think that would put a pretty decent seal of approval for the rest of Broncos country to kind of just really buy into that. I think Indy said, I'll take that bet. I think it's in reference to this one. I'm not sure. Joey, where are you landing?
I also think Indy's other comment. I appreciate Zach being bold because Zach did not only make the bold prediction, but he highlighted why it's so bold, right? Davante Adams is one of the game's best receivers, if not the best in the NFL. Tremendous route runner, does so many good things. I really like the Broncos secondary, and I'm really looking forward to the matchup. I tweeted that, like, even if it's not just Patrick Surtain, but Ronald Darby's been playing really good this year. K'Wan Williams has been playing really good. And Davante Adams isn't a guy you only play in one spot, right? He's going to play all over the field. Unless they decide that Surtain's going to follow him, he's going to be playing all different types of corners. I think I'm definitely taking Zach up on this bet. Not that the Broncos won't limit him a little bit, but hey, guys, here's another point. The Raiders traded so much for him, and he's pissed off right now. He's pissed off. He's going to get spoon-fed the ball, I think. I think that he's going to be spoon-fed the ball. Even if it's not coming in the natural flow of the offense, Davante Adams is going to break 30 yards receiving.
All right. Joey doesn't think it's going to happen. I don't know. I could see it happening. It'd be pretty cool if it did.
Are you riding with me, or are you betting against me and your boy Patrick Surtain, Bri?
I am absolutely riding with you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Yeah, Joey's not, though. This
is the one everyone needs to highlight and remember that everyone on this podcast owes me drinks.
That's fine. That's
not how it works. It's I will have to buy you a drink.
Yeah, wait, that's what I meant. Like, but everyone on this no, Bri too, because she didn't take it.
Well, it's my wager. So she's just not taking my bet. She's not betting against. Never.
Sounds nice.
Jerry's like, no,
Bri owes me a drink.
Fine. Indy has a really good. I'm going to throw up Indy's comment first because he has a really good idea for a segment that we can change this to. Can we change bold prediction to spicy take in honor of Russ's sandwich? I think it's a good idea. I love it.
It's not even a bold prediction. It's just a hot take. Russ needs to stop with commercials. We need to stop it. I'm over it. I don't want to see him anymore.
And if I was a brand, I wouldn't be hiring him. I wouldn't be hiring him if I'm someone like, guys, you're the butt of the joke. This isn't, I mean, I guess any press is good press, but like, I wouldn't be hiring him.
So many views.
I don't want my brand to be associated with King Goober.
I love Russ. Personally, I really like Russ. These two people over here, not so much.
I don't know who you're talking about.
You ever do something dangerous before? Whoa, that is dangerous.
I don't like it. I don't want it. David says Javonte Williams breaks 100 yards. What do you think, guys? Bold? Not bold? Taking it? Leaving it?
Okay, this one's a little bit interesting because at what point do the Broncos say we need to start moving Melvin Gordon's carries down because the guy just keeps fumbling?
Soon.
It has to be. This is insane. Any other running back in the league, it feels like, unless they're just a certified star, when they fumble, it's like we're taking him out of the game. He has to learn his lesson. The Broncos just, like, Melvin Gordon continuously has fumbled this season, and the Broncos, it just seems like they don't care. At what point do they have to put their foot down and say, hey, we're going to give Javonte Williams more carries, or we're going to start giving those carries that Melvin Gordon has now to Mike Boone? I figure it has to come at some point. I don't see how this continues to happen.
Well, because I think one of them situationally wasn't necessarily his fault. On the 1 yard line, it's fourth down. He recovers it. They would have turned the ball over. I'm concerned about blaming all of this on Melvin Gordon and saying that he is not a valuable player, in the red zone and being able to punch that ball. And unfortunately, he's not at this time. So he's not really making up for those gaffes. But I don't think necessarily taking him out is beneficial to the Broncos, even if you're trying to teach him a lesson. Pretty sure as a grown man and somebody who has had issues with that in the past is able to kind of reflect on that in game and not focus on it. Because if you take him out, you're basically saying we do not believe in you. My whole thing with take him out of the game, you are saying we no longer have confidence in you. I don't think that motivates somebody in Melvin Gordon's position. I think you continue to give them the reps and give them the snaps because that's what's going to either right the wrong. Because at this point, saying that it's lost the game or that he's somehow the biggest issue on this offense is laughable to me. So I don't think you need to take him out of the game.
It's just like when you're playing
he doesn't have to be the biggest issue on the offense. He doesn't
when
have
you're
to be
playing
the biggest
this
issue
close in a game, when you're playing this close in a game, Zach and I we took a break and then continued to talk and then took a break. That was funny. It's just like when you're playing these close of games because your offense isn't clicking, a turnover is massive. You need to make sure your defense is in the right position to succeed when your offense isn't rolling. I mean, like turnovers are always a big deal, but when your offense can't go back and get those points back from the turnover you just created, it's a huge deal. I don't think it's the biggest deal either, Bri. I totally agree with you on that.
We're not arguing for some like crazy off the wall thing either. Limit the touches of the guy who's fumbling the ball at times. That's commonplace. Like if you look at any Belichick disciple, one thing the Belichick tree has done pretty well is limit fumbles, especially Bill Belichick himself. And when you fumble the ball, they sit you down because you prove your reliability. We're looking at 3 fumbles through as many games, and it's a career-long problem too. I think sit him down and let him refocus on it. It'd be one thing if you were like severely downgrading the quality of back in your backfield. Mike Boone's a really good running back and can make plays on this offense. Boom, Frankie's right.
Interesting. Can you guys tell me whether or not you're taking or leaving David's Javonte Williams 100 yards?
I am taking this bet. I just need to see the Broncos decide that they're going to give – like for Javonte Williams to break 100 yards with the carries he's getting right now, not being like – completely the lead back, right? Like it's more of a split backfield type thing the Broncos are doing. It's going to take very explosive runs. Like the Broncos are going to have a really good running day, right? Or he's going to have to pop one that's just went long. Like he's going to have to do really good things. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible at all. Not at all. It's very possible that he breaks 100 yards with the current thing. But it becomes, if this were more of Javonte Williams being the lead guy, I would go in. I would definitely be more opt on saying that David's going to be right here.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go no. If Quinn Miners was playing, I feel better about saying it.
Perfect. Alex Ramirez wants to know, is the Broncos-Raiders game even a rivalry anymore? Y'all, does it feel like a rivalry?
No.
Yes. How many players? No.
We'll argue about this. Go ahead, Zach.
Okay, so Zach, crazy. Go.
You've got so many, like, as much as one, like, are there real rivalries in the NFL? Like, I think that's debatable. But as far as like NFL rivalries go, 100%, you have multiple players going out of their way this week to be like, no, I actually despise the Raiders. We had Draymond Jones publicly saying it. We had Bradley Chubb publicly saying it. We had the coaches all week talking about how you want to emphasize it. Vic Fangio made a big deal about it. And I also think it's meaningful because this is like the first time since the 80s that like both teams have had like high hopes. Maybe like the early 2000s. So I don't know. It's a little spicy. I think there totally is some heat. And when you look at the player comments, I think it underlines that there totally is.
So when Alex asks this question, I assume he's talking from, does it feel like a rivalry anymore to the fans? And I don't think it does. I think it takes the way this rivalry thing works in the NFL, to me, it's different than college football. In the NFL, it's, you need to be playing a really good team, like, or a team that's been dominating or been really good. That's the only way. How much the fact that this is even a question should tell you enough about it, that it's gone down from where it was. Like the Broncos Raiders was like Steelers Ravens still have that personality because both those teams have been really, really solid through the years. It's the tension isn't there as much with two teams that haven't been that great. Now, if
it's
the
not
Raiders,
a rivalry, but it's a rivalry.
Yeah, it's a rivalry, but it doesn't really feel like a big rivalry anymore. It really doesn't. It's going to take the Raiders to be good or the Broncos to be good for one of those fan bases to say, "Oh, I'm pumped up for this. Like this is the game right here." And I haven't seen any comments like that really, or much comments.
Being at the game in person, I think there totally is like last year, I think you feel it Raiders games feel different. And I can't talk about going to Vegas, but from the Denver side, I think those games totally feel different.
I think growing up in the epitome of the Broncos Raiders rivalry and being ingrained in that, I think it's always going to be a rivalry in my head. But I don't think it's as much of a rivalry that's replaced the Broncos and the Chiefs. And that rivalry is frustrating because they continue to just wipe the floor with the Broncos. And I'm sick of it. I think that just invigorates more passion. The Raiders are kind of like the butt of the joke most of the time. And now that the Broncos have a quarterback, then you're seeing kind of that shift a little bit, that like it's less of a competitiveness, but more of a fuck the Raiders. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if that is reinvigorated after the Broncos, win, hopefully this Sunday, because I would like to see that competitive and fighting spirit back from all of Broncos country. And I think it was a fun rivalry. It was scary at times, but there's something very deep at the heart of it when you listen to like Amy Trask retelling the stories of how the Denver crowd would throw snowballs at the Raiders. And there's all of these long standing stories about everything that used to go down, that it sits really deep in a lot of people's hearts as the rivalry. So for that to ever go away, I think that's hard to say, but right now it's really not that competitive. Alexander Koch, who had a good point here. Fun fact, Gordon and Williams actually have similar fumble rates across their careers, every 94 carries versus every 90 or so. Gordon's fumbles just came in a much more inconvenient moment so far. I would have to agree that it is a very ill timing for those to be happening. Regardless of where you fall on that.
Look at, I don't know. I think recency bias does matter here. Like, what are they doing this season? Because it's nowhere near the same in terms of like a per touch basis. And then in terms of like this time around, Melvin Gordon's fumbles have just come at an inconvenient moment. That's kind of the story of his career. Like, it goes back to like Chargers fans were ripping their hair out for how many fourth quarter fumbles this guy had. Like, it's a career long trend. And I do think, to Joey's point, when you're playing these close games, it's like, I don't know. Is it worth it? Like, fumbles are so devastating and like require so much luck for your team to fall back on them. And I think Mike Boone can give you, I don't know, 85, 90% of what Gordon's giving you and isn't risking catastrophe on every touch.
Yeah, I think so. I wanted to highlight here as well, David's still interacting with us. Thanks for watching. I just want to say we appreciate you tuning in. I don't remember your name previously, but if you've stopped by before, thank you for interacting. The Raiders went from being a fiercely competitive football team to a financially competitive corporation. Al Davis is rolling in his grave. Yeah. I mean, fair. Frankie says, the AFC North always has rivals, even when all those teams suck. I think that's fair to point that out as well. But it's fierce. No, go ahead, Joey. I don't want to cut you off.
No, you're good. I'll cut you off. No, I appreciate you taking that though, Bri. Good looks. I agree there, but did those Bengals, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not an AFC North fan and I don't feel it as much. But when those Bengals teams weren't good for a really long time, did they feel like a huge rivalry? The way I always remember it
Browns Steelers is one where like they've hated each other even though it's super one-sided and the Browns always suck. I think it changes the spice level. Like, I think the NFL rivalry of the 2000s, to your point, Joey, is Steelers-Ravens, because those teams have both been like good almost every year of like the past 20 years. Even if they're not like Super Bowl contenders, they're at least like respectable and good. And I think the Broncos Raiders rivalry has lost like some spice. Like right now, I'd say like maybe Broncos Chiefs is almost spicier because like you can feel how pissed off the fan base is that they've lost to the Chiefs. What is it, 14, 15 times now in a row? Like, but I don't think that means that like, if Alex's question was, has the Broncos Raiders rivalry lost some gusto? Is it a lower tier NFL rivalry now? Like, those things I think are debatable. Is it a rivalry? Absolutely. You have players this week publicly saying, like Bradley Chubb, a defensive leader, saying like, I fucking hate those guys. I want to beat them. And I think that makes it a rivalry.
Do you want, okay, this is going to piss some people off, but at the moment, because of how the teams have performed. The Broncos have been bad for a while. The Raiders have been bad for a while. Broncos, both fan bases are happier, although the Raiders are starting 0-3. Up until this point, I mean, until these teams prove it, it's like CU Nebraska right now, or CU CSU. Like it's just that same thing that made us love this rivalry so much is not there. The reason we all got behind this rivalry was because these were two competitive teams. They were competing against each other. They had to make their way to the playoffs.
But when did you fall in love with the rivalry, Joey? When you were like a kid in 07, 08, 09, same as me. Like the Broncos were in the middle of a playoff drought and the Raiders were the laughing stock of the league. Like I don't think
I can't say I fell in love with this rivalry.
And I was graduating high school. No, I think it's an important thing to discuss. Frankie says, so do the Broncos just not get rivals because they haven't been very good?
No, they get rivals. I'm just saying, like from the fans' perspective, I can see why it's not as I hate this team. It always feels like right now, Broncos country. If you were to take a test, I guarantee you everybody hates the Chiefs. You're like, Chargers, Raiders.
It's the demographic. I think it's the demographic.
People hate the Raiders.
When the Patriots were good, I remember seeing takes that the Broncos Patriots was bigger than any team in the AFC West at that time.
And I think at that time it was because those teams were battling to see who would make it into the Super Bowl. But the difference is you're not playing the Patriots on it. That's for out of division. You're still playing the Raiders 2 times a year, every year. And I think it's I get that maybe the rivalry doesn't matter to you, but I think as the comments are showing, tons of Broncos fans still absolutely despise the Raiders. I think that's still I would not ascribe apathy to Broncos country in regards to their matchups with the Raiders. I don't get that sense at all.
Yeah, I guess it's just a little more that it's less than what it used to.
I think that's fair. Frankie says, I hate the Patriots more than the Raiders from what I've seen perspective. That's really interesting to me, right? Because I mean, I can't speak here, but I realize that there was very much so a deep-seated hatred for Tom Brady and the Patriots, specifically during that time period. Although I just don't think anything when I think about rivalries in football, I think about the Broncos and the Raiders. That is just synonymous with the statement. So the Patriots one is less to me. Do I think that it was still one? Absolutely.
It's less to me too. It's less to me too. I just remember it. The way my memory works is that it always feels like the main person, the people the Broncos hate. When the Broncos are really good, it could be even someone outside the AFC West. When the Broncos are really bad, it's the top dog in the AFC West. The other two are the steam goes way down. Is I guess just all my point.
Yeah. My High Prophet, and if you don't already know this is a great fun fact to pull out. I hate the Raiders enough to have dug up soil from Mile High and transported it to Vegas to spread on the ground upon which Allegiant was built. So they just can't actually get rid of us. That's fantastic. I love it. Thank you, Mile High Prophet. Fantastic. Oh, Alexander also said, I like all the comments that are happening in the chat, so I'd like to get to them. Mine is actually falls in line with how I think the offense needs to start off pretty strong. Going to see Courtland Sutton score not only a touchdown, but the first touchdown. I think the chemistry has been building in this direction. You've seen Courtland Sutton and Russell Wilson working to a point of pretty much perfection. And I think if they've ironed out the details that they've needed to, and Russ is able to get it done, I think he has and stands the chance to score not only a touchdown, but the first one. So that's my bold take for Sunday. Courtland Sutton scores, and he does so first. I'm going to put money on it. There you have my bold prediction. Take it or leave it.
Go ahead, Zach.
I like it. I'm trying to look up the Vegas odds really quick right now because this will definitely be a line they have posted in Vegas. No, just for context. First touchdown score. Oh, wow. Plus 1,000. Guys with better odds for this. Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams, Darren Waller, and Matt Collins. All 4 Raiders before you get to Courtland Sutton. Yeah, especially at those odds. I love it. Bree's giving all you people good gambling advice here. I'm surprised Sutton and Wilson haven't connected for a touchdown yet with how I don't know, just like solid and reliable, steady that connection has been. Yeah, I feel like it's finally bound to break through, and especially with how beat up that Raiders secondary is. Still, though, there's just if I was getting like the plus 1,000 on it, I'd ride with you, but 1-1, I'll go against you here.
Fair.
I am also going against you, Bri. That's just my hot take right there. It's just like, it's not even that I can't see this type of stuff happening, and I've been saying this over and over on this. Zach's is a little more unreal. I think Zach's is the hottest take today, and I thought mine was really hot, but Zach's is scorching. Like, and then I think I can see all these things happening, but at the end of the day, it's just like the likelihood of it. I don't think I'm doing that.
I'm currently about to press the button to place my bet. So there we go.
Ooh, let's go.
Ooh, really putting her money where her mouth is. I love it. I'm actually I'll ride on the Vegas bet with you, Bri, because plus 1,000 on that is a ridiculous value, especially when you look at like Matt Collins. I get Matt Collins has been putting up good numbers, but like, I don't know. You shouldn't have Matt Collins and Darren Waller and Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs all with better odds for first touchdown than Cortland Sutton. That seems silly to me.
It does seem silly, and that's why I think, although it is a bold prediction to call it first, I think it's bound to happen. This is the game to do it. I also think he's probably got a good shot at going over 100 yards as well. I don't like that Raiders defense. I don't think they're very good. I don't have a lot of faith in them. I see the offense using this game to really send it home. Indy, that wasn't actually the advice I wanted to give you, but good luck.
It's great. You'll
Awesome.
be able to give your kid. For audio listeners, Indy, our loyal listener, said taking Bri's prediction and betting my kids' surgery money on it. I think this is great because not only will you be able to pay for your kid's surgery, you'll be able to get them a pony or something.
I almost choked on my water that I didn't swallow. All right, fellas. You know what time it is. It's Joey's question of the day.
Joey's question of the day, brought to you by stealing your kid's insurance surgery money.
Stealing is crazy. All right, I have so cornerback we all love, Champ Bailey, right? He has the most Pro Bowls from a defensive back of all time. I'm asking you guys, how many Pro Bowls was that?
6.
Oh, she's so confident. 8?
7.
Guys, just because
it's 6. No, it's more than that.
Is it 7?
Are you guys ready for this? It's actually an insane thing.
Yeah, because now I'm mad because I wrote out. I have written down those statistics.
You made 12 Pro Bowls.
Oh,
dang, that's pretty remarkable.
And that's
how many All Pros do you have?
NFL Hall of Fame website. What do you say?
You know what the NFL Hall of Fame website calls Bill Thompson?
What?
Billy.
So why'd you just call him Bill?
Billy Thompson. Because that's what you call them. They call him Billy.
How many All-Pros? How many All-Pros?
Let's see here.
Maybe I'm just dyslexic.
I think those are just first time. I'm surprised.
9 upside down. Only
3 first team All-Pros. Yeah, I don't have second team in front of me, but 3 first team. That's pretty good. It's a Hall of Fame career. First team.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Gentlemen, tell everyone listening where they can find all of your fantastic work.
Find my writing at Mile High Sports Guys, and then follow me at JR Drafts. Make sure you're tuning in for Frankie in the comments here. Big shout out to Frankie. Love Frankie. We're doing a halftime show, so make sure you're listening to that. It's going to be on Twitter in their little spaces things. If you haven't checked that out before, make sure to check it out at halftime of the game. Frankie and I are going to be reacting to all the good plays and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Check out all that. Check out Bri's Twitter for all her live reactions to the game. And then Fan Cave Monday, if you like more of me or more likely like more of Bri, we'll have some radio post-game reactions there. Make sure you're checking that out. I love the Monday edition of the Fan Cave. Absolutely have to watch that appointment viewing / listening. And then I'm 7-time All-Pro. Okay, so 14-time on the second team.
Really
Sorry.
crazy. 7-time All-Pro.
That's
nuts.
really remarkable. 7 times being a top 4 cornerback in the NFL. Shout out Champ Bailey. Like and subscribe to the show. Rate us 5 stars. Tell a friend. All that stuff helps us so much. And then at some point Monday, my Stock Up, Stock Down will be out. Work really hard on that piece, and I'm super proud of it every week. So please check that out. Thank you.
Love it. You can find me on Twitter, Bri Maestas 303. I look forward to interacting with all of you. You can follow if you'd like, or you can just comment on a couple of things. You can catch me on the Fan Cave, as Zach already said. We'll be on there Monday, where you can usually get a live look at exclusive audio from the Denver Broncos locker room after their game. That's if you missed that, you can go listen to our last Monday's episode, which is up on both of our Twitters. And yeah. It's been a great night. Really appreciate all of you. We'll see you on Saturday, tomorrow, for the game preview, and we'll talk to you soon. Let's go Broncos, and let's ride.
Whoa, let's